Yes, everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Howson, and this is 5 things that we learned watching one of the most boring games of football ever. Now, of course, it wasn't a vintage performance by any means, by any stretch of anyone's imagination whatsoever, but as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, sometimes the result is more important than the performance, and it is a results business at the end of the day, and too many people do get caught up in this style of play and go, oh, well, do you know what, I'd be happy losing as long as we had a style of play. No, you wouldn't. We had a style of play under Jose. We had a style of play under Louis van Gaal. What you want is winning, and at the end of the day, winning is winning. Now, one of the massive issues was United failing to score again from open play. It's been 2 penalties in 4 and a couple of nil points in between where we failed to score a single goal. Not really good enough by a long stretch. Now, we did all right today in terms of chance creation. We had 17 shots, 7 of those was on target, 9 of those was inside the box. A couple of those probably should have been scored, and there was also other opportunities for us to get in the mixer. It's nowhere near where United to be, but it does beg the question of whether the media coverage of the crisis has been a little premature, and where is it for Arteta and Pep Guardiola. United have now climbed into the top half of the table. We sit in 9th with a game in hand. We could only be 4 points off the top, which is a bit more like it, if not, still not really good enough, but it is a little bit more like it. We now sit above Manchester City and above Arsenal in the table, and it begs the question, where is the media coverage of the crisis? Now we are above both of those 2 teams. Number 2, Fernandes flourishes. Bruno was largely wasteful yesterday in the game, but he was still Manchester United's source of inspiration. He was let off massively with the retaking of the penalty, which was correct, but he was. Out of everybody on the pitch, Fernandes ranked first in final third passes with 42, chances created with 6, shots with 4, accurate crosses with 3, fouls suffered, shots on target, and goals, obviously. He's now been involved in 24 goals in 22 Premier League games at United with 14 goals and 10 assists, and he isn't showing any signs whatsoever of slowing down. I would even argue that he probably should have had his hand in at least another assist last night as well. Fernandes has also created more chances than any other player in the Premier League this season with 26, and I think there's a couple of stats doing the rounds which show that United's forwards need to start improving with some of their conversion. Number 3, United's forwards fail. Now, I struggle to believe this stat, and I had to go and check it out afterwards, but I did see it from Squawker, and it's true, or it appears to be true. United's forwards have converted just 7.7% of all shots attempted in the Premier League this season. The lowest shot conversion rate in the entire league, and something seriously needs to improve sooner rather than later. In all competitions this season, Rashford and Fernandes have scored 7 each, which is good, but no other player has got more than 2 goals to their name for Manchester United. It took Martial until this game to register his first shot on target of the season, which was a glorious chance to give United the lead early in the first half, but he missed. Rashford just doesn't look fully fit. Very surprised that he started, and he provided the performance of someone who didn't look like there was anywhere near fit enough to be on the pitch. One of United's only positive going forward yesterday was the introduction of Cavani. He looked fantastic with his off-the-ball movement, and his introduction really sparked a little bit of a resurgence for United in the middle of the game. I thought his leaving it for Martial gave him a great opportunity to try and get a goal, but it was blocked. He was in the right sort of zones himself a couple of times and was unlucky. And he's also making runs off the last shoulder as well, which I'm going to be real with you, I really didn't expect from him at this stage of his career, but he's out here doing it. He's a fantastic option off the bench. And I think with us having this conversion stat doing the rounds, I think having someone like Cavani at our disposal is going to start twisting that in our favour just a little bit. I think he's going to start getting on the score sheet, and I wouldn't be shocked to see him starting ahead of maybe Tony Martial as we go forward, and perhaps Tuesday night against Istanbul is the place and the time for him to do that. Telles debut. Now, it's taken 8 game weeks for Telles to finally make his Premier League debut for Manchester United, but he did it, and defensively, it was solid. Tellez won 100% of his tackles and his aerial duels. He also made 11 ball recoveries as well as 2 interceptions. Going forward, he managed to get an 84% pass completion, completed 25 final third passes, made 3 passes into the box and won 2 fouls. Now, his crossing let him down a little bit, and I'd argue even more than a little bit. 0 of 8 attempted crosses. I've dug Ashley Young out for that. I've dug Luke Shaw out for that. We don't really get to dig Wan-Bissaka out for that because he never puts in that volume of cross. But it's worthy of digging out. That's not good enough. Literally was having a discussion with Alex in there 5 minutes ago where Alex was like, well, it depends who's in the box, doesn't it? No. If you're, and this was the argument I had with Ashley Young the entire time. If you're the guy in possession of the football, it's your decision-making and responsibility to be able to deliver it to someone, whether that means changing your pass, whether that means dribbling with it till it's an easier layoff. You don't just swing a crossing and go, well, fucking someone get on the end of it. It's not how it works. With Shaw injured, it's going to be likely that Tellez is going to get a run of games, and I think he's going to prove himself to be an asset. I would expect that this game was a bit of a blip in terms of his crossing ability, because what I've seen of his crossing ability, I think he's very, very, very good. His attacking mindset on the left-hand side, he's probably going to end up being a bit of an asset for us, and I think the crossing ability, coupled with, as we were saying a second ago, Cavani potentially coming into the starting 11, I think it's going to be big for Manchester United. And finally, we are ready for Istanbul. Istanbul Başakşehir visit Old Trafford on Tuesday night next week in a reverse fixture from the dismal 2-1 away defeat earlier in the month. United had a glorious opportunity to basically qualify from Group H with a win in Turkey, but the loss has made this one now a bit of a must-win with the reverse ties against Leipzig and PSG looming near. Since the defeat, United are on a 2-match winning run after a very good win against Everton and let's be honest, getting the job done against West Brom. We must now make it 3 from 3 with a very winnable fixture, and with what we've got coming up, this is one of the few very winnable fixtures that we've got. The previous game at Old Trafford in the Champions League was a 5-0 mauling of RB Leipzig, so hopefully the Reds can carry on that sort of performance and less of the performance that we saw last night against West Brom. That's what I'm reckoning anyway. If you guys agree, disagree, or whatever, let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's anything else that you guys saw, missed. Do you expect Tellez to come into the 11? Because I think certainly this game would be the one that I think he does. How do you reckon Tellez is going to get on and improve? Because I thought even though defensively pretty solid, he could have helped out a little bit more in attack and perhaps would have stopped it getting 2v1'd in those wide areas. And anything else that you want to throw in there as well, go for it. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. We've got the preview for Istanbul coming out tomorrow, so make sure to check that out. I'll see you in a bit. Laters.